What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Independent Waters. I am your host, Mikey Manfredi, and joining me, as always, is my co-host, Zach Batista. Zach, how are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good right now. I'm drinking a Mike's. I just finished up work for the day, so I'm looking forward to relaxing for a bit.
Oh, God, we getting lit on this episode of Indy Waters. Indy Waters, more like Indy Hard Lemonade.
I was like, I'm gonna let him stir and then see where he got. I like that.
Anyway, you guys probably noticed that I sound a little different this week, and that is because my laptop decided to die. So while I wait for the part to replace it to aid in its recovery, I have to record through my phone, which is not ideal, but it works.
Yes.
So for hopefully just this week, my audio is going to be a little weird. But it should come back. It should come back soon. With my laptop and my good microphone, so hopefully we won't have to deal with this for much longer. Anyway, let's just jump right into it, shall we, Zach?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I believe I started off last week, so why don't you kick us off with your first match of the week?
Okay. So I don't know how I ended up here, but I decided to pick Ace Romero versus Alec Price at Limitless Wrestling.
Ooh, I
don't remember. Oh, now I remember. I wanted to watch a JD Drake match. Then I saw Alec Price, and I was like, oh, he looks pretty good. I was like, let me find a match with him, and I found this match. Decent amount of views on YouTube. So this match, for context, is a rematch that Price offered Romero after Price beat him in their previous match. This is kind of like this is your last chance to fight me, basically. Like, get your redemption or you're going to lose again to me, pretty much, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So the match starts off hot immediately with Romero hitting him with a running uppercut followed by just chucking him around the ring like a fucking sack of bricks. Loved it.
Yeah.
Price then hits two huge big boots, which if you haven't seen Alec Price, he's a very tall, very lanky man, so his legs are fucking long. Looks great. But going over that, he then flips Romero over to the outside. The two then outside for a fit. And we get to the theme of this match, which is just stiff as fuck strikes, man.
Ooh.
Like, there are these hits where I just see them hitting each other, and I'm like, oh, you actually hit him in the face. It's like, oh, shit.
Oh, you actually punched him.
Yeah, like the two of them are, like, legit, like, let me put it like this. If it didn't hurt them after this match, I'd be surprised. Like, they were giving each other some stiff-ass hits, but it wasn't, like, only one side. Like, they were each putting their all into these shit, which I really liked. Because I really sold how competitive these two were and how, like, much they really wanted to win against the other person. Romero even gets fired up a bit that I'll get further into the match, but let's see. Eventually, though, Romero's able to hit Price with a boot of his own after he tries to showboat to this very small crowd, because this is during the COVID era. So the crowd consists of mainly wrestlers, I'm pretty sure, from the show itself. And it's located in what I can only describe as a cafeteria or like maybe a training area that looks like it's very small. Oh, let's see. He hits him with a big boot. Romero gets control for a bit. He then chops Price in the chest, which are, if you couldn't tell by the strikes, the chops aren't any less brutal. And Price has like a high pitch, like ah! Every time he gets hit with the chop, I'm gonna regret making that noise.
Wait. Can you? Sorry, I didn't quite hear that. You broke up a little bit. Can you do that sound one more time?
Yeah, sure. A few. Ah! So he's like selling it. I'm like, I respect your crippin' to go that high when he hits you in the chest. I was like, continue. I was like, keep going for this. Romero then like pours some water on him, like shoves the water ball that he took and poured into his face. Then it's a massive scent on him in the ring. So you could tell that Romero, who is usually a face, aka AC baby, for anyone that knows his work.
Mm-hmm.
He then takes Price corner to from one corner to another corner, each taking a time at each corner to just chop him in the chest. And at this point, Price's chest is fucking red. And then we get to this really cool counter here where he tries to pop up Price after he throws him, right? Like Irish whips him.
Okay.
And as he pops Price up, he sticks his feet, like he's able to pop up, and then he just kicks him right in the face from the pop-up. It looked really good.
Jeez.
I was I was like, oh, let's go. I was like, all right. So Price takes no time here getting his payback. He shit talks Romero. He's like beating the shit out of him. At one point, he's stomping on his chest. He goes, how's your fucking chest feel now, huh? As he just stomping on his chest.
I bet not great.
Nope. Eventually, Price gets him into a deep sleeper hold, which almost caused him to pass out. Like, Romero literally starts to drool here. Like, I was like, oh, shit. I was like, all right, fuck it. Romero then tries to splash Price in the corner after he's able to actually get up, but he misses him. And he does, and then Price does this cool sequence, which I believe he calls, let's see, he gets a couple running forearms to his face, goes down, and then pops back up. Yeah, that's what it is. He like hits him twice in the corner with 2 elbows, right? And as he's turned around, he then pops back up and just back elbows him in the face.
Oh.
Except just as he's about to boot him again. At this point, I think he's like saying like all around the world, he's running towards him. Romero then hits a drop kick out of nowhere, which if you've ever seen Ace Romero, he's a huge dude. So it was kind of like Braun Strowman when he first debuted the drop kick on Raw, where I was like, oh shit. Like, that's a fucking high flying sequence here. Which was awesome. I popped off of this quite a bit because it was just out of nowhere for me. Price is the first one to get his next offensive, hitting 2 massive. Commentary kept calling them running knees, but I was like, that's a boot to the face, dude. But I digress. Semantics.
That's just somebody getting kicked in the face.
Mm-hmm. So then he goes up to the top rope for a leg drop, but Romero actually ducks him as he jumps towards him. And then shoulder checks him into the corner, which kind of spins him a bit, and it almost hits it into the ref, which I was half expecting a ref bump, to be honest, because that's what wrestling conditions you for. Just expecting the ref to just die. Romero, feeling the shift in momentum, then as Price goes to the outside, hits a suicide dive, again, fucking crazy, and then he immediately tries to pin him into the ring, which I actually enjoyed because it showed how much he really wanted to just put him away as quickly as possible. But, of course, he kicks out. So the two then crawls with their feet, face to face in the center of the ring, both exhausted after this match. Price hits a few forearms, which are a lot less impactful than the last couple hits, which Romero also no-sells, so it looks really weak. And I was like, oh, I wonder why he's doing that. Romero then retaliates by just brutally slapping Price in the face 3 times.
Oh.
It's like that's going to leave a mark just like the rest of your body. He then goes up to the top.
That's going to leave a mark just like the rest of the thing.
So Romero then goes to the top and actually needs the ref's assistance to get up. But unfortunately for him, it takes too much time out there. And Price is able to use this time to stop him. So he gets up on the ropes with him. And for a second, it looks like Romero's going to hit him with, I'm going to say, a Death Valley driver, kind of like he did on the AR Fox match that we reviewed a while back. Watch that match, by the way. It's a great match.
Okay.
But Price is actually able to get out of it and Hurricane Rana's him. However, Romero then immediately gets up and no-sells it, which I popped off for again because I was like, what the fuck? So Price super kicks him in the face and then hits an inverted satellite DDT, which is basically like, it's just like an inverted tornado DDT, but it looks really cool. Which is one of his finishers, by the way, thank you, commentary, called the Prized Possession. He then hits a huge blockbuster.
That's a cool name for a finisher.
Yeah, it is. He then hits this massive blockbuster off the top rope, which looked fucking great. He got so much air out of it. I was aghast, basically. Romero then somehow kicks out after all of that. So then we get to the finish for Price. I rate that Romero kicked out of his finisher and then this finishing sequence, goes to the top and tries to drop kick Romero. But this is the cool thing I was actually thinking of. So Romero counters it by basically, you know how you drop kick someone, your feet have to land on their chest for a second? Romero catches his feet and sweeps him upwards by basically flipping his feet up and transitions it into a power bomb.
Wow.
Awesome.
That's crazy.
Tries to pin him off of this, but can't. Then Price then runs up Romero, like he runs up his chest as he's getting up and does like Swerve's last call. He kicks him in the back of the head and is able to finally get the win off of that.
Wow. That sounds like a wild match you just watched.
Great fucking match. I would probably I'm torn for this match because I was like, I feel like I want to give it like, because like when I'm describing it now, I feel like I'm more hyped for it than I was before. I don't know because the mic's no, but seriously, I give this match probably a high meh.
Okay.
It was a really just good match. Like I enjoyed the little story they told here. I appreciate how much each guy really put into this match. Like no one pussyfooted around getting hit in this match, and I liked it quite a bit.
Yeah.
And
okay.
Probably will watch something in the future with Alex Price because I am a fan of his after this match quite a bit.
Cool. Can't wait to see what else we get from him down the line here.
Yeah. All right. So now after my match, let's hear what you got. What you got, Seth?
All right. So my first match this week is from Borough Wrestling.
Oh shit. Okay. You find like some of the craziest promotion names I've never heard of, and I love it.
Oh, just my next match after this one had like 400 views on YouTube, and it's been up for like a year.
That's where you find.
So we're getting into like indie kind of.
Let's go. All right.
All
right. Who's in this
match? So
match?
my first match is from Borough Wrestling. We have Willow Nightingale taking on Su Yung.
I know Su Yung. I don't know Willow Nightingale.
We saw Willow Nightingale at the Collective. She is one half of the Bird and the Bee.
Oh, is
with,
she
Solo Darling?
Oh, okay. I know which one she is now. Okay, cool.
Yes.
All right.
So this match is between Willow Nightingale and Su Yung. I found this match because I wanted to watch more Willow Nightingale matches because I love the Bird and the Bee.
They're great.
I bought some merch for them. I worked the Collective. When we watched their match, it was great. I love they just have such great chemistry in the ring, and it's just a treat to watch. Honestly,
agreed.
But I wanted to watch some of their solo stuff, and a couple of weeks ago, I did watch a Solo Darling match. So now I wanted to watch a Willow Nightingale match.
I like it.
So we got we got her taking on Su Yung, now of Impact.
Mm-hmm.
We know the undead bride, Su Yung.
Yep.
This match starts off kind of slow. It's very them feeling each other out, like going around the ring, kind of getting a hit in here and there, and just and Su Yung kind of working like her creepiness,
Mm-hmm.
Creeping out the ref, creeping out the audience. It's not like when the bell rings, the match doesn't start.
Exactly.
But when it does get started, Su Yung basically dominates almost for like half the match. Su Yung is really in control of Nightingale and really just putting her in submission holds, hitting her with different moves on the outside, stuff like that.
Okay.
There was an interesting submission where she had it was like a weird arm bar almost. I don't even know how to describe it, honestly. It was something I haven't seen before.
Is this like a Fujiwara? Is this like a Becky Lynch disarmer?
No, it was like an arm bar where Willow was sitting up and Su Yung had her leg around her neck and one around her waist and was pulling her arm backwards while she was sitting upright.
Oh.
It was interesting. I've never seen anything like it before.
I'll say in my head I can't actually grab my mind. I can't what's the word? I can't
I could barely I watched it happen and I could still barely picture it.
That's the word. Picture it. I was like, I can't picture it in my head for some reason.
Yeah. But it's Su Yung dominates a lot of this match, and then there's one point where they got to the corner, and Willow ends up reversing Su Yung charges into the corner, and Willow moves out of the way. Willow then sets up into a superplex.
Okay.
Willow hits the superplex, rolls through, and then hits a fisherman suplex, and they're both just out. It was so cool.
That does sound cool.
Then when they both finally get up, Willow ends up dodging a couple strikes from Su Yung, hitting her with the leg lariat,
and
then into her falling senton, which was also great. There was one point where Su Yung got Willow in the corner, and she was just hitting her. When you said hard-hitting matches, there was this part in this match where Su Yung just looked like she was slapping the crap out of Willow Nightingale. The chops and the slap she gave while Willow was in the corner looked brutal.
Mm-hmm.
You heard it. It sounded like someone was just getting smacked.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean,
I don't know if it was malicious or not. I don't think it was, but it seemed it definitely felt real.
I feel that.
There was a really cool move where Willow was charging at Su Yung while she was in the corner, and then Su Yung hops up on the turnbuckle, turns herself around into a head scissor, and then rolls underneath Willow and whips Willow into the top turnbuckle.
Oh, okay.
It was really interesting. I was like, "Whoa, that was a really neat reversal I haven't seen."
I love when you see stuff like that. When you get some creative shit.
It was really weird. I've never seen anything like it before. She jumped up, gets her in like she's gonna do a Hurricane Rana, but then she flips around and rolls her forward into the turnbuckle instead of away from it.
Yeah.
It was cool.
Sounds cool.
Yeah. Then there was one point where Su Yung hits a pedigree off of the ropes. Like Willow was like set up like how Orton does his DDT.
Okay. So like draped over like the bottom.
Yeah.
Rope.
But Su Yung instead hooks both of the arms and just hits a pedigree off the second rope. And then Nightingale kicks out of, by the way.
Oh,
and then Nightingale hits a gigantic power bomb. This is like Spirit Bomb-esque power bomb.
Oh, wow.
Like all gets Su Yung up, jumps, and like does like the jumping sit out power bomb like Keith Lee does.
Love that. I love
that. Dude, it looked brutal. Su Yung was out like a light. Ref goes 1, 2, stops before 3 because she broke a nail on the 2 count.
Oh my. Okay.
So Willow, of course, gets up and yells at her for not doing her job.
Of course, as you
and
would.
Then, after she's done yelling at her, Willow goes to get up on the top rope to hit her moonsault.
Mm-hmm.
And while her back is turned, it is revealed that the ref is trying to help Su Yung win because the ref pulls Su Yung away from the corner, and Willow hits a moonsault into nothing.
Holy what? Top 10 anime trails right there.
And goes down. Yeah. And then Su Yung pulls out her glove, that glove she uses, that Sako-esque glove for like the mandible claw. She gets that on Willow, takes Willow to the mat. The ref does the thing where she like lifts her arm, drops it, lifts her arm, drops it. And then on the third one, Willow like powers it up and like stands up. And then while she has the hand in her mouth, she lifts her up into like a and just hits her with like a Death Valley driver.
Oh shit! Oh fuck! I was not expecting the word Death Valley driver to come after that.
Yeah, hits her with like a Death Valley driver almost, like with all while Su Young's hand is still in Willow's mouth. And then after she hits the Death Valley driver, she goes up, hits the moonsault. She goes to pin Su Yung. Mm-hmm. The ref does a very slow count, but the ref does get to 3. And in spite of the ref working with Su Yung, Willow Nightingale does win this match.
I can't say I expected the ref to actually go through with the 3. I have expected the ref to say, you know what? No, I'm not going to count the 3.
Yeah, it was a slow 3. It was like 1, 2, 3. Like it was very slow, but like the 3 did happen.
Like could have had a 3.
I think it was just because the ref was scared of Willow.
I would be.
Also, the ref during this match, she was wearing high heels the whole time.
What?
I don't get it. I don't know how you do it.
That's wow.
How do you ref a whole match in high heels?
Yeah, like I feel like there's so much potential for the heel to like break when you're or like you to trip or like how.
Yeah, that was wild to me. Anyway, Willow ends up winning this match. Even though the ref was on Su Young's side, and takes it home. This match was really good. This match was good. I liked it. I wish the ref didn't get involved because it kind of ruined it a little bit for me. Like I was really into this match. Like I don't think Su Yung needed the help.
Yeah, I got you.
Like Su Yung wasn't exactly in dire straits that whole match.
She was dominating most of the match.
Yeah, like she was holding her own pretty well. Like I don't even know why the ref got involved at all. I don't know. It seemed weird to me because there was no build up to it or no alluding to the fact that the ref was going to help.
Oh, it's just kind of like
it just kind of happened and was like, oh, so you just did a swerve for the sake of swerve, with no meaning other than it being a swerve.
Maybe something to do with the promotion.
No story or anything. Which is there to be there. Got it. I don't know. It just didn't hit. You know, like there was, like I said, there was no plot line to it. It was just like a swerve to be a swerve, and I didn't.
I was like maybe there'd be a plot line after the match that they would.
No. Nope. So the video ends with Willow Nightingale and the ref staring each other down, and that's about it. Because Willow is mad. But other than that, I didn't see any other like overarching plot lines throughout the match that showed the ref was going to help Su Yung at all. You know.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but anyway, despite that weird ref interference, the match was still good. I liked it a lot. I don't think it's a mark out for me.
Yeah.
Because the ref still did take away from it, but I give it a meh for sure. Go check it out. I think it is a good showing of both of these two. They put on a good match. It's just like I don't know why they had to do that.
I got you.
That interference. It just seemed so out of place.
I'm coming to realize that I didn't explain my rating for my last match. Not to cut you off.
Good.
No, it's just I just realized I'm sitting here. I'm like I forgot to say something, and I was like, oh, yeah, it's kind of like I feel like it's in the same way with you, where it's like it was a good match. It's just when I finished the match, I was kind of like didn't give me the markout feeling for whatever reason. Your reason makes perfect sense for me. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, that just was bothering me for like the last minute. I was sitting here like, what the fuck? Like, what is this?
No worries. It's important to let everybody know why we
was
don't
like
give matches markouts all the time.
Yeah, it's like kind of like we say, like we've said many times. You know when you've seen a markout match, like you feel it.
Yeah, for sure.
After rudely hijacking that.
No worries. Anyway, this match was a meh. It was fine. Go check it out if you want. If you like Su Yung, if you like Willow Nightingale, I think you'll like this match. Definitely worth it. But like I said, that end just kind of annoyed me. But otherwise, it was a fine wrestling match.
So it's funny you say stuff about referees.
Okay.
This next match that I watched was fucking. You'll get to the part. You'll know why I mentioned referees at the beginning of this when I get to, because I can't even I have to do the build up for this. Okay. So first things first, I decided to watch Mercedes KV, or as you better know her all the time now, Sasha Banks versus Alisha Edwards at Chaotic Wrestling.
Okay.
In an I Quit match.
Ooh.
Yes. I was like, you know what? I'm like, I saw Aleister Black prototype, Aleister Black. I'm like, I'm down to see what Sasha Banks is like before she went to Florida for training at the Performance Center.
Okay.
So match comes out, and commentary says how this match has been building up for months beforehand, and it was actually Sasha that chose the match's stipulation. So Sasha comes out to a side note. It's to a Snoop Dogg song, which I think he made for her, which I thought was really nice. And
that's neat.
However, like once her entrance finishes up, like she's like done, like cheering with the crowd and all that, she immediately just goes to the entrance to wait for her opponent, right?
Oh, okay.
Alisha, realizing she's waiting for her, the moment her fucking music hits, she just comes running out, swinging at her. As her manager,
I like how she still waited for the music to hit.
Yeah, like Sasha's just standing there, music hits, she just comes sprinting out the back. And the two are already trying to beat the shit out of each other. And while they're brawling on the outside, the announcer comes strolling by and it's just casually like announcing Alisha, who's the champion at the time.
While they're just fighting.
Yeah, this is a championship match. He just announced, he's like, Alisha, the women's. I was like, props to the announcer, man. He didn't give a shit. He was like,
hey man, the show must go on, right?
Yeah, any day to a wrestling promotion, they're fighting. I'll just announce them. As her manager Scotty also comes running by. We'll get more into him in a second. So the two of them fight on the outside for a bit, with Sasha eventually getting the upper hand until as she throws Alisha into the ring, she's getting in, and Scotty then grabs her leg, which gives her time to beat her down and regain control of this match.
Okay.
Because it's an I Quit match, so you can do that. Granted, I don't know why commentary is like the ref never saw it. I was like, the ref doesn't need to not see it. It's an I Quit match. There's no.
It's an I Quit.
There's no
match.
reason
no
for
DQ.
not.
You don't gotta do. It's fine. They can do whatever.
Yeah, exactly. But I digress. Alisha, not wasting this opportunity, strikes Sasha a few times before getting her knee on Sasha's neck and just kind of pins her to the ground with her knee on her throat, which will then become her whole shtick for the rest of this match, where that becomes her target, just choking her out, trying to get her to quit. So then she tosses Sasha to the outside when that doesn't work, which Sasha did really well, because if you know anything about Sasha Banks, you know that she takes hella bumps for people and sells really well.
Oh, so yeah. Sasha is like Ibushi with the neck bumps.
Yeah, like there are times when she makes bumps and I'm like, oh, why did you do? I'm like, why?
Yeah, Sasha is like a scary bump machine.
Goddamn, can I not? I can't deny that it looks so good when she does it. Like, anywho. So Scotty then takes a cheap shot at her when she's on the outside. Like, he just stomps her on the back and is like, just starts jawing off to the crowd, which the heel commentator is like, yeah, he should be jawing off to this crowd. And I was like, I don't usually hear that, but I appreciate that. But anywho, I said that anywho like 4 times now. On the outside, though, Sasha's able to regain control by throwing Alisha into the steel barricade, and then hits her, and then scoop slams her on the outside, which I don't think has. I think it has like some padding on her or something like that. She then puts her in a bow and arrow hold, like using the ring post in between them and kind of just taking her head and her like legs and just yanking back on the pole. Which, similar to Alisha, this becomes her target for the rest of the match. She's going to target the back of her. So on the offensive, she hits a backbreaker on her, and then she holds her on the backbreaker and starts just pushing down her face and her legs, like kind of like really just grinding down on her back. She's in pain. She then gets out of this by like hitting a few well-aimed knee strikes to Sasha's face, which looked a lot better than they had any right to be because she was laying on her knee when she did this.
Okay.
So then when she then gets onto Sasha and just straight up chokes her for a bit. But when that doesn't work, she then puts her in a camel clutch and just starts to wring her back. Like, I'm talking like she starts to fold her backwards for a bit. And I was like, oh, I was like, wow, damn, you really like got that. I was like, all right. It's like, it's a blood feud. So, I mean, it makes sense. Even though this means that even though Sasha refuses to quit here, it doesn't mean she's going to lose any ground. So she then beats the shit out of her some more, eventually leading to her choking her out in the corner again. A lot of choking. Though, unfortunately for Sasha, she's actually able to counter a backstabber in the corner by holding onto the turnbuckle as she's getting up. So she just kind of falls back on her back when she pulls backwards. Sasha then gets a few strikes, mounts a comeback, hits a couple clotheslines, followed by a dropkick from the top rope. Really starts to fire up, right? She then puts her in this like weird variation of the crossface where she crosses both of Alisha's arms over her chest. And then pulls her hands back so that they're basically choking her out like on her neck. And then she just kind of pulls her arms backwards, like kind of pulling her back. It's kind of like the bank statement, but it's more so using her arms to choke her out, right? Scotty then runs into the ring at this point and just kicks Sasha in the back of the head and throws him off Alisha. And it's like, who do you think you are attacking or whatever, right? So then we get to like my favorite part of this entire goddamn match. So the ref, seeing this, spins Scotty around towards him and is like, what the fuck are you doing? So only for Scotty to just shove him, right? Because, you think the ref's just going to fall over. In response, the ref grabs him by the throat. But Scotty gets out of it by convincing him. He's like, all right, you know what? No, I'll leave. And he's like, all right, you're going to leave? He's like, yeah, I'm sure. And then the moment he lets him go, he cheap shots him in the face. So the ref, I'm expecting the ref at this point to take a bump and fall over or some shit. But instead, he's just standing in the corner with his head he's staring at the corner with his head down, right? He sits there for a couple seconds. He gets up, he lifts his head up, he turns around and just choke slams the manager.
Jesus.
And then after that, ejects him from the match. I'm like, this ref did not give a shit about your preconceived notions that refs diet at a gentle breeze. This guy just fucking killed the manager. Loved it. I was literally like, this is so fucking. I'm like, I love this shit. So after that, we go back to the women's match where the two of them finally get up because at this point the two of them are spent. And Alisha's able to come up by giving Sasha a flatliner and then goes to the outside, goes to the commentary desk and gets a camera cable from the outside, which is really long. Like you can see it's still dangling from the outside as she gets into the ring. And for a second, she starts to choke her with the cord again, but then decides, you know what? No, I'm done choking her. And she then proceeds to just whip the shit out of her with this. And you can hear it hitting her too. I was just like, why?
Jesus.
Why would you do that to yourself? But hey, Sasha better the match, and with her permission, I guess, Alisha just whipped her. So eventually, though, Sasha actually does kick Alisha in the head with a roundhouse kick, and grabs the cable, leading into the finish of this match, where she then grabs the wire, wraps it around her neck, like the bottom of her neck, and then kind of like cross arm like face hold that I told you before, she just yanks it back and starts choking her. And when I think about it now, it's a lot like the bank statement.
Brutal.
And she just gets down and starts pulling her back and pulling it. And like you could see that like she's really pulling on it. And when that doesn't get her to submit, and like at this point, Alicia's like looks like she's gonna she's choking, trying because she refuses to tap. Sasha's like, well, if that didn't work, as she lets go of the cable, you see Alisha just pull the cable like off her neck for a second. She then grabs her hair and yanks that back and just pulls her and her back, and that forces her to finally tap out and quit. And I thought the finish was awesome. This match was really fun and really enjoyable for me. The highlights obviously being the finish and the fucking ref going God mode and killing the manager.
The ref just going Super Saiyan and being like, well,
you
mess
tried
with
to
the bull, you
me?
get the horns.
Exactly. You're not respecting my authority? Get fucking chokeslam, bitch. Again, the match didn't leave me with the mark out territory, so it gets a high meh again. But honestly, watch this match, if anything, just for the finish and this ref spot, because I couldn't believe what I was seeing when I watched this happen. I was like, what reality am I living in? Because I want to keep living in it if the refs start to do shit. Like, this is some, like, Aubrey Edwards shit, but even more so.
Okay.
Love.
Yeah, right. It's like Aubrey times 10.
Mm-hmm. Whereas Aubrey's like, don't fucking put your hands on me or I'll fucking eject you. This guy was like, I'll put my hands on you and eject you myself.
This ref's like, you touch me, you die.
Exactly.
I love that energy.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, what did you give that match, bud?
A high meh for me.
High meh, got it.
Still enjoyable for me.
Cool.
A little slow at points, but I appreciate all the like entertaining stuff. I appreciate them adding in the story of like it being a blood feud. I liked like again, I really thought the finish was like funnily enough, the finish was kind of what I was hoping for the match to be more of, but like I thought it was really fitting for the I Quit match ending to be her literally choking her out and then just yanking her hair. Because it built into it with her working over her back the whole match for the bank statement.
Gotcha.
Yes. Yeah, this match was oh, that's what I remember. This match, you can really tell this is prototype Sasha in this one. Like she's good, but she's not like the polished, like really, really good wrestler that she is right now in WWE. Like I can definitely see what they saw in her when she was in the early stages of her career here, or I don't know how early it's on, but like before WWE, like in her like really trained and polished her up.
I got that same feeling about a match we watched together, which we'll get to later.
Oh yes, okay.
But before we get to that, we have my second match of the week.
All right. Hit me with it.
We got a match from Truly Independent Wrestling, which is the name of the promotion.
Love it.
This match has like less than 450 views.
Damn, you went like deep dive for this week.
Yeah. And it is a match between the Elite Terrell.
I thought you were about to say like the Elite, and I was like, the fuck?
No, the
Elite Terrell.
Elite, sorry, it's not the Elite. It's Elite Terrell.
Elite Terrell
versus Still Life with Apricots and Pears.
Wait, I'm sorry. Still Life
with Apricots and Pears.
With Apricots. Okay.
That's their name. Still Life with Apricots and Pears is their name.
What a fucking name if I've ever heard one.
They were at Effie's Big Gay Brunch, which we didn't attend, but I definitely wanted to. But they were there, and I've heard many good things about them. So I decided I wanted to watch one of their matches. So I looked them up, and I found this one from Truly Independent Wrestling.
I'll be honest, it sells it for me already. I was like, all right, fuck it.
Yeah, I mean, it's this match is good. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty okay.
Okay.
It starts off with them doing some chain wrestling, getting the feel of each other, just going back and forth with like submission holds and whatever.
Gotcha.
I will say though, the crowd sucked.
Oh, that's the fucking
crowd
worst.
Was terrible. They weren't terrible in the sense that they were quiet. They were terrible in the sense that they were annoying.
Oh no.
Because literally these two were trying to have a wrestling match, and all the crowd can chant is take the mask off. Take the mask off.
Oh,
because Still Life wears a mask, if you don't know.
I didn't actually, but
yeah,
why
Still Life is a masked wrestler. So the crowd was chanting, "Take the mask off." Almost the whole time, which sucks because you could tell you can kind of tell that Terrell didn't want to do that, but ended up going for the mask ripoff like once or twice because the fans were chanting for it.
Yeah,
and it felt very forced.
Trying to play into the crowd even though you didn't really.
Yeah, it was like you could clearly tell that wasn't the original plan for the match, but they were just like, but but Terrell was just like, all right, I guess we're gonna do this. You cool with it?
Yeah, I guess.
So
Just don't
Terrell
actually pull it
starts
off.
trying to rip Still Life's mask off, which does not happen at all throughout this match.
I was gonna say I doubt it'll happen.
No, it does not. And also, the crowd won't stop yelling at Still Life that they look like a Power Ranger, which is very annoying.
Oh, come on, man.
But anyway, some more chain wrestling after that, and then there is a point where Terrell hits a head scissor on Still Life, throws them out of the ring, and then hits a pretty cool looking corkscrew plancha from Terrell.
Okay.
Over the top rope, hits it right to the outside. And this match was in a parking lot.
Oh,
by the way.
Wow,
so it's like the corkscrew plancha looked a little more like it hurt.
Oh. All right.
But it was a really good looking corkscrew plancha. They get back in the ring. They do a rope running spot, and Terrell goes to leapfrog over Still Life, and Still Life stops, picks Terrell's leg out, and he just lands directly on his face.
Oh.
And then Still Life grabs Terrell's knee and slams it into the mat. And for the rest of the match, Still Life works the hell. When I say works the hell out of, I mean works the hell out of Terrell's knee this whole match.
Damn. Blood in the water.
Yeah, just really bread and butter wrestling. Just like acquire that target and keep targeting it, you know?
Mm-hmm. Classic.
That's how Still Life wrestled this match. There was a point where they were on the outside again, and it looked like Terrell was going to do like a springboard moonsault to the outside onto Still Life, but Still Life grabs Terrell's leg, rips him down. His head bounces off the apron. And then Still Life rolls Terrell onto the apron and slams his knee on it again.
Ooh.
And then
no mercy.
And then Still Life wraps Terrell's knee up in the ropes, like gets it like he like, or they like bend Terrell's knee like between like, it's so weird. It was like bent. It was like bent over the middle, like the knee was like bent on the middle rope, and the top and the foot was like caught on the top rope. Kind of.
Oh and
then,
no!
And then Still Life just does like a running drop kick on the apron to it.
Oh,
like really working. When I said really working the knee, really working the knee.
Yeah, like full on. You will not walk after this match.
Oh, there was parts in this match where he didn't walk. There was one point where this is also where I realized the crowd was terrible, because while Still Life was working the knee, the crowd was just chanting, "This is boring," and I'm like, it's not. It's wrestling. It's good wrestling.
Oh, nothing rustles my jimmies more than a fucking bad crowd.
I know, right? But like I said, his knee does end up giving all this knee work does pay off, because there's one point where Still Life is sitting in the corner, and one of Terrell's signature moves is like a running cannonball. And Terrell goes to do the cannonball, and halfway through the ring, his knee gives out and he falls on his face.
Oh.
And that gives Still Life gets the opening to get a figure four locked in, which Terrell does reverse, rolls on his stomach and reverses the pressure, quote unquote. And Still Life has to get to the ropes, so they get a rope break there. I don't know. This is also when I felt that something about this match just felt off. Like I don't know what it was. I can't put my finger on it, but something felt wrong. You know?
Gotcha.
It was like you could definitely tell Still Life was in charge here. Gotcha. Was the ring general in this one, really running the match themselves. And Terrell was kind of just following along, but also it looked like Terrell was having trouble keeping up sometimes, which is weird because he was definitely the faster one. I don't know.
Huh.
I don't know what something just felt really off between these two. Like there was like a weird. It looks like they just didn't have like good chemistry a lot throughout this match. There was just some points that were awkward to me. I don't know. I'm probably gonna spoiler alert. I'm probably gonna give you this match to watch.
Hmm.
Just because I want to see what your take on it is and what you can try to figure out if you can feel it or
Yeah.
like what the feeling is that I'm missing here.
Okay.
That's but it
fair
was
enough.
weird. However, there was one point where Elite Terrell hits a huge brain buster on Still Life. Goes for the pin. Terrell doesn't go for the pin. Terrell hits a big brain buster on Still Life. Still Life is laying in the middle of the ring. Terrell goes up for a 450.
Okay.
Terrell goes for the 450. Still Life rolls out of the way. Terrell lands on his feet, but his knee gives out. He goes down. Terrell gets caught in a leg lock from Still Life and ends up tapping out to Still Life. And Still Life wins this match.
Sounded about like that was what it was heading towards.
Yeah. So you can tell that this match was all around that was based all around that knee. Like once they started working that knee, that's what the whole rest of the match was carried around.
Gotcha.
It was basically like, will Terrell's knee hold out, or is it just, or is Still Life gonna get the upper hand? You know.
Mm.
I think this part of the reason this match felt weird is I could not tell who they were building as the heel or the face. Like I came into this match, it looked like Terrell was supposed to be the face and Still Life was going in to be the heel.
Yeah.
But then they both do stuff that makes me think otherwise. Like there was never a point where I felt like I wanted to root for Terrell in this match, which is weird.
Huh.
Like if they were building Terrell as the face, they did a bad job because the entire time I wasn't like really wanting Terrell to like win at all. Like there was no point where I was like, "Ooh, I hope he beats up Still Life, who's being a big jerk right now." You know, it was just like, yeah, these two are wrestling, and I guess whoever wins wins. I don't know.
Wow, that is.
Maybe that was what felt weird, but something, like I said, something felt off.
I look forward to watching this match.
Anyway, I like this. I still did like this match. The wrestling wasn't bad. They both did some really cool moves. Still Life really worked that knee that whole match, which is really interesting. I've never seen like super technical wrestling like that, where it's like pick a spot, rest of the match that is your spot, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it paid off dividends, I guess. So I give this match a meh.
Fair enough.
Like I said, I couldn't give it a mark out because I had that weird feeling about it, and the crowd was terrible, which took me out of it a little bit because I was just annoyed by the crowd. There was just something awkward about their chemistry, but they made the match work. I don't know. I would like to watch more of both of them to see if they can do better, you know.
Yeah, I feel that. Give them another chance.
All in all, it's definitely a meh type of match. Wasn't too bad, and I really liked what Still Life was bringing to the table. So I was excited to finally watch a match from them.
That sounds like a very not perplexing, but I'm just intrigued to see what this match is like when I watch it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it definitely is something about the energy is like weird. I think I don't know. Maybe it's the crowd, and maybe it
could be a multitude of things.
It could be a lot of things. Anyway, so that's my second match of the week. So that brings us into the match we both watched, which you picked this week. So why don't you tell us what you picked for us?
Apparently, I had Mikey's infectious desire to watch High Flyers last week. Infected me because I ended up picking for Serpentcio versus Darby Allin versus Shane Swerve Strickland at Fest Wrestling,
now known as Isaiah Swerve Scott from NXT.
Yep. And this match was a qualifier for the Plum on a Branch match or whatever the fuck. What is it?
Yeah, it was like a plum in the tree battle royal.
Plum in the basket, I think it was something like that.
It was some really weird name.
But it was like basically like a Money in the Bank thing where like winner gets to choose their like a title shot whenever. But I remember hearing this name a few times and being like, that is a very odd name to pick for a match.
It
But
was a
okay.
very weird name. It was very funny whenever they said it on commentary.
Yeah, he said it a bunch of times, and each time I was like, Plum. I was like, what do you mean Plum?
Like what? Whatever.
Whatever.
So let's get into this match. This
right
match starts off pretty quick.
Yeah, I'll say right off the bat, I thought the entrances were a bit too long because this video is 14 minutes long, and at 4 minutes is when the match starts. And I was just for each entrance, I was like, "Come on, man!" I was like, "Come on."
That's like a little bit over a minute entrance for each person, right?
Yeah, and I was kind of, I guess it was like I was just eager to see the match going because I was like, let's fucking. Thankfully, to your point, this match starts off hot as fuck.
Yeah, you don't have to wait very long for this one. Darby, as soon as the bell rings, Darby Allin goes right after Serpentcio. Or is it Strickland?
It's Swerve. He like does like a bunch of like he like chucks his body at him into the corner, and like then Serpentcio like super kicks him when he finally like gets an opportunity to get it in there, and then Swerve hits him with like an elbow and a Hurricane Rana, like followed by a drop kick, I think, because Swerve finally gets his time to shine.
Yeah, and they got to some cool parts on the outside.
Yeah, like they kind of exchange shots for a bit until what is it? There's a bunch of stuff. Let's see. The spot you're referring to is
yeah, there was the one part where Darby does the suicide dive outside to Serpentcio, and then when they both get up, Strickland hits him with the Fosbury flop.
Yes, and before that,
which is just a plancha.
Yeah, and before that, if I recall correctly, when Sir Allin and Swerve were fighting, before this, Swerve kind of like leapfrogged over Allin, and he thought Allin was going to run the ropes. And instead, he just suicide dived Serpentcio, and he was just like, "Oh shit! All right, you got me."
Yeah.
Let's see.
Is it weird? This might be an unpopular opinion. But I kind of was thinking about it, and I would love to see this match, without Darby in it. Like, just give me Shane Strickland versus Serpentcio 1-on-1.
It's an interesting point. I never thought about that.
Like, I would love to, like, instead of this 10-minute triple threat, give me like a 20-minute match between Strickland and Serpentcio. And just watch them like fly into each other.
Honestly, I can't say I would be against that. Granted, I would like to see a match with each of these guys working like a much longer match. Because this match is like short, sweet, to the point. Like this is like.
I mean, we could always get. I mean, Serpentcio versus Darby Allin isn't an impossibility.
It's not. That is very true. Let's see. Let's see. For this match, there's a couple fighting on the outside of the ring. Like I think it was like Serpentcio gets like rammed into. No, I know. What is it? Hold on. I have my notes here. I'm trying to figure this out. Serpentcio throws Swerve's face into the apron. Darby then rams him into the apron. He then like gouges Swerve's eye when he tries to stop him from like continuing to beat the shit out of the two of them, and then like throws him face first into the steps. Which, by the way, these steps were like something out of like a theater as opposed to like a wrestling ring. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or like a choir step. Like they were big as fuck.
Yeah, they were like stage steps, not like ring steps.
And then, as just going off the height of it, Allin then like DDT'd Swerve face first into the steps, which I was like, oh, that's unfortunate. I was like, that sucks for you.
Oof, that sucks to take. Probably.
That's be a lot of these matches. So I'm like, ooh, that sucks.
Let's
see. We get some nice offense between Darby and Serpentcio. With Serpentcio doing like this cool spot where like as Allin runs the ropes, he trips him, goes out of the ring, jumps up to the apron, then spears him through, which looked cool. I liked it.
Yeah. Serpentcio was sick.
Yeah.
I think everyone in this match was sick. Everybody did their spots.
And as we're gonna go off of that, I had a very significant problem with this match. I thought the crowd sucked in this match.
Really?
I was not a fan of how little the crowd interacted with these guys in this match. Like there was, for me at least, there were several times where it was just quiet, and I'm just sitting there like, why are you all so quiet? Stop being quiet. And like they would like start to clap, and the crowd would clap for like a few seconds until then they would just stop.
Yeah.
There was one guy that tried to keep doing a Swerve chant, and no one did it with him. And I was like, come on, man.
Somebody help this man.
I was like, help this man. I was like, cheer for them. Come on. This match is like, these guys are put on a really good match. And you're just doing nothing for me right now.
There was one part where I think the crowd got a little bit into it when
Talking about
Strickland hit a superplex on Serpentcio and they landed on top of Darby.
Yep. Like they're just fighting. And you see Darby's lying in the ring. You think to yourself, oh, Darby's just going to power bomb him and do a Tower Doom spot. And instead he just fucking dropped him on his chest. And
just lays there. And Darby
that was the spot where I was
superplexed onto.
I was like, oh, I'm like, that was really dangerous, but it looks sick.
It was so cool.
It was really cool. I was like, that is definitely a spot Darby would be like, yeah, we could do that.
Yeah, I felt so bad for Darby because that probably sucked to take. That must have been miserable.
His legs like completely fucking landed on his chest. I was like, that's as I said.
Yeah, that must have been miserable to take.
Oh, the two of them going off that, Serpentcio and Swerve then go at it for a bit. With Serpentcio gets a really deep, like really good looking, like lucha arm drag that you've seen like Phoenix do plenty of times. It just looks great. Love it.
And Strickland hits that cutter right after that.
Oh yeah, he fucking jumps out to the outside, kicks him, and then just jumps up and hits this cutter, and they get air with this cutter.
Yeah,
damn.
Swerve's cutter is ridiculous. That like where he comes from the corner, does like a forward roll, and then just jumps into it.
Mm-hmm.
It's so cool. It's so cool.
Gets this next nice spot here where Serpentcio and like Swerve are not just strike each other one after the other, because Darby at this point is still KIA after that spot.
And they're getting suplexed onto.
And Swerve hits Serpentcio with a forearm to the face, right? And Serpentcio retaliates with a fucking backhand to the face that had a lot more impact than had any right to be. I remember thinking to myself, wow, that was just fucking pimp slap man in the face.
Whack.
Yeah, whack. Darby then comes back from the dead and coffin drops. I think he hits Serpentcio with a coffin drop as he's standing up, which was nice to see because last time I watched the Darby Allin match, no one knew that that was going to be the name of the move. And then we hit the finish where the finish. Swerve tries to hit Darby, but Darby just kind of is like bobbing and weaving all his strikes. He then counters it with like each of his own, and then hits a Canadian Destroyer on Swerve, which is like a signature Darby Allin.
Destroyer or a sunset flip?
He called it a Canadian Destroyer, but I was like, I feel like that's like called like a Code Red or like it's a sunset. It's
there was one point where they called it a Canadian Destroyer, and then later in the match they called spoiler alert, I watched another Darby Allin match this week for the Double Down. And in that match, they called it a sunset flip. In this match, they called it a Canadian Destroyer. And I was like, which is the truth?
Yeah, I'm kind of in the side of here. I'm in the party of kind of like, it's got to be more like a Panama Sunrise-esque move where like you got to actually like fully flip and not just like do a flip on. That's my opinion, though. Anywho, so then Serpentcio just kind of comes in and rolls Darby Allin up with a crucifix from this as he's trying to pin Swerve. And then he transitioned into an arm bar on Darby Allin's arm, which had tape on it, but you didn't really know what the deal with it was because commentary didn't really say anything. But apparently it's hurt.
Darby probably did something stupid and injured himself.
I think they said like Darby had like some hardcore match before. But anywho, Darby like taps out really from this. And I remember not being the biggest fan of this finish because it kind of deflated me a bit.
Oh, really? I was kind of into this finish.
Oh, see, for me, it was like no one worked his arm. It was out of nowhere, and I was kind of hoping for a more like. That's the thing with me. I like explosive finishes. That's just my thing. So like, it just kind of was just out of nowhere for me, where I was just kind of like, oh, he tapped out.
I kind of liked. Oh, sorry, one second. I kind of liked how it was out of nowhere. Yeah, for me, it was like, I don't think Darby's arm needed to work because, like you said, he came in with that tape, and they explained that he was in a hardcore match like the week before. And he did like a coffin drop with it, like with a chair taped to him or some stupid shit that Darby does.
Darby is hardcore fiend.
Yeah, like I and the fact that Serpentcio like just slid in and stole it like a snake would.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah. Ooh.
Kind of it popped me a little bit. It kind of reminded me of Bloodsport where we saw Davey Boy hit that power bomb and the match just ended.
Oh, okay, I feel that.
It gave me that same like, oh shit, that's over. Oh wow, that was quick. I don't know. I kind of like the out of nowhere finish with Serpentcio getting that arm bar submission. I thought it was neat.
This is why I like talking with with you about wrestling and anyone about wrestling. It's nice to hear different opinions on it.
Mm-hmm.
Side note, I thought it quite amusing at the end of this match. Serpentio's cheering, and like the crowd liked Serpentio the most this match, very obviously. And like Darby's on the outside, he's pissed off. Swerve gets up. Serpentio like goes to like shake his hand. Swerve's just like nah, and he just kind of nah, fuck off, and he just walks away.
Aww.
And I remember thinking to myself, I'm like, no one was respectful at all. I watched so many indie matches where everyone always does the, oh yeah, I respect you at the end. But these guys were like, nah. Swerve was like, fuck that. You stole that win from me. Darby was like, you fucking tapped me out, you bastard. And Serpentio's like,
poor Snecko.
He's like, well, shit, I tried. Fuck. And then he celebrated.
I gave it my best.
He gave it the old college try. So, Mikey, what did you think of this match overall?
I really liked this match. I wish it was longer. Like I said, I think this match should have gotten more time because it's 3 amazing competitors.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you gave him more time, we would have gotten that big explosive finish you wanted.
Yeah.
But all in all, I did like this match. I think the out of nowhere finish worked well for it. I don't think for me at least, it wasn't a detriment. I thought it improved the match a lot because it just gave it like yeah, you know what, this is a triple threat match and wins like that could happen.
Mm-hmm.
It's about being opportunistic. Anyway, I think all in all, I don't know. I don't know what I want to give this match. Like, I don't know if I'm between meh and mark out.
That's.
Well, like, I don't know what I want to give this match. I think it's going to be a high meh. I don't think it hit that mark out threshold.
See, it's funny. That actually is the same rating I gave it. I gave a high meh because despite the fact how much I disliked the crowd's lack of interaction, how much the ending kind of deflated me a bit, and how the entrances were a bit long for me, it was a good match. Like, I enjoyed myself, and like you said, if I got like 10 more minutes with these guys, I would have we probably would have gotten an even better match because like wrestling's great, selling's great from each guy. Like, you can tell that they're all really talented and really good at what they do.
Mm-hmm.
Like the finish, like when you explain it, makes more sense. It still deflated me a bit, but like it's less. I dislike it less than I did before.
Mm-hmm.
And like in the end of this match, I was kind of like, all right. I'm like, I liked. I was like, I like this match. Like, it's not a meh for me. It's a high meh.
Yeah, I think it's definitely almost on that mark out threshold, like for sure. Like you said, it was a really well wrestled match, and these guys put a lot into this match, and there was definitely emotion there. They were all selling very well.
Mm-hmm.
No one, like everybody pulled their weight.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
So yeah, we both gave that match a high mess. So that wraps us up for our new matches this week, which brings us to the Double Down.
It's now time to find out if the match was, actually good or bad. I don't know. It's time for the Double Down.
All right, we are in the Double Down where we flash back to last week and we take a look at matches through each other's perspectives. Zach, why don't you kick us off this week? What match did I give you to watch?
Oh boy, you gave me Phoenix versus King Cuerno at Lucha Underground for a what is it? It's a battle of the what is it? Champion of the Gods.
It's for the Gift of the Gods championship.
Gift of the Gods championship
Gift
match.
of the Gods championship in a ladder match.
I loved how much commentary played up on this match. This match, they were putting up all the stakes of how important this title was, how much it meant to each competitor. They really showed how Phoenix has been fighting for this title for a while, and Cuerno's kind of suckered him into this match. I love commentary in this match. They did such a goddamn good job, and not only selling up how good each competitor was, but also selling up the stakes this match had, and like the implications, like the waves that would be felt from whoever won this match.
What really sold those implications for me was Mil Muertes sitting on his throne ringside with his belt on, just being menacing over the
menacing
arena.
Looking motherfucker just sitting there.
Yeah, that was so cool. He's just sitting there menacingly. Just like over the whole arena, like it is his domain.
Yeah, I think someone described as like a tyrant watching over his kingdom or something like that.
Yeah, that's what it felt like. It was so cool.
Loved it. Oh my god. So this match, I gotta say, was so smooth. And
Oh, yeah.
goddamn, luchadors know how to make fucking kicks sound impactful, man. Like every fucking kick in this match was just off the chain, just sounded and looked fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Love
Yeah,
that.
these two can wrestle, man.
Mm-hmm. I really, really liked how much commentary and Cuerno played up to him being the king of the hunt.
Mm-hmm.
With him like stalking Phoenix in the ring, setting up like traps for him to set up to like go off of so that he would like take more advantage of him, toying with his prey, commentary, like using a bunch of like analogies for him just being a hunter on the hunt. Loved that. Because I just like when wrestlers really play that up. But like at the same time, it wasn't like silly in the sense like it was serious. Like it was like this guy will take you apart and hunt your ass down if you're not careful.
Yeah.
Love that. The spot you described where Phoenix fucking jumped off like the box ramp area over the ladder onto Cuerno was awesome.
All the random ledges that they just had.
Yeah, love that. Looked great. Phoenix falling on the ladder, man. God, you said it looked brutal, but fuck me, dude. That fucking shit.
Right? Just the way he bounced off of that ladder was rough.
That ladder gave no give, had no fucks to give for him.
You could tell too, it was definitely supposed to break.
Yeah.
Because one of the ends did break, like one of the sides kind of broke.
Mm.
But the rest of it just didn't, and he just bounced.
Yeah, I get this feeling that maybe the ladder was supposed to be propped up on something to be splat across, but it wasn't there. So Cuerno and Phoenix kind of like, well, hope it breaks.
He was just like, all right, well, here we go.
Yep, and fucking paid for it. Spot where the two of them were dangling off the ladder looked awesome. I loved when Cuerno went to go grab the belt and Phoenix fucking slapped his hand away and knocked the two of them off. That was just funny.
No, stop.
No, stop. Wait, oh, fuck, shit. Just down. Splat. Yeah, splat, basically. The Hurricane Rana through the table. Like, I love that the table just exploded when he fell through it. For a Hurricane Rana, I was like, nice. It's like, this is what we like to see. Him winning felt really good. Like, when Phoenix won it, I was like, oh. And when he's like just looking fucking Huertas down, holding the belt, I was like, oh.
That stare down where Phoenix is on the ladder, Cuerno is in his throne, and they both just have their belts and they're just staring each other down. Just awesome. I'm sorry, Mil Muertes has his belt, Phoenix has his belt. They just stare each other down with Phoenix on that ladder, Muertes in his throne. It was so cool.
Fucking awesome. I also
Lucha Underground was just so cool.
I need to watch more of it. I heard season 1 or 2 where it's peaked, and it was a little bit. It wasn't as good later on, but I still want to watch. I started watching it and then stopped. I need to get back into it. Probably as soon as I get my laptop back, I'm probably gonna get back into Lucha Underground because man, is it neat. I love Lucha Underground. I love the crowd in this match too. Unlike the other matches I've had, unlike the match before, the crowd, I was annoyed with the crowd. I love the crowd this match. They were chanting.
The Lucha Underground crowd is always so good.
So good. And I loved how the commentators, you could tell how much the commentators were really loved the shit they did in Lucha Underground because they were fucking great this match. Like I said, I fucking love this match. This match easily gets a mark out for me. I love the story told here of Phoenix being a little bit hot, like a little bit too big for his boots for a bit there, getting suckered in by Cuerno and Cuerno taking him apart, only for Phoenix to rise like a phoenix after taking all this punishment, coming back, overcoming him in his home turf of a match and winning just to fucking look down the king of the kingdom and just stare him down, ready to fucking fight him next. Loved it.
So good. So good. What a great visual to end it off, really.
Oh, it was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Chef's kiss.
All right. Well, you gave me this week Cody Lane versus Darby Allin. Yes, Darby Allin twice this week.
This match. I remember this match.
From Heavy Metal Wrestling.
Yes, I love this name because every time I hear this now, I just think this is where Warhorse should make his home.
Oh, yeah. This match gets right to it. Darby does not waste any time yet again.
Yep.
Darby goes right after Cody Lane, and the two just beat the crap out of each other for a good while.
Yes, and the crowd, I think too.
Yeah, and then they finally get back
each other.
Yeah, they're beating the crap out of each other all over the place. And then when they finally get back in the ring, Darby's running the ropes, and Cody Lane just says, "And stop," by just bashing Darby's head against the ceiling.
Like I said, it'll always get me when I'm just like, oh, I'm like, why? It's like, ow. Oh, I hope you're okay.
Cody Lane says, "And we're done."
And we're done. Fuck you and your stupid high-flying shit. Now let me be a chicken shit heel. Go into the vent now.
After that, the match does slow down a bit because Darby just took a rafter to the skull.
Mm-hmm.
Cody and they slow down, gets a little bit more chain wrestling. Cody Lane dominates for a while. Then when Darby's making his comeback, Cody Lane's buddy gets involved.
The tag team partner, right?
His tag team partner, and almost wins in this match. But then he gets in the ring, and the ref gives him that stare down that you were talking about.
Yeah.
The ref is just like in that. He's just in like he just gets in like a JoJo pose kind of stance.
Yeah, like he's like, I'm sorry. Are you getting into that ring with the chair?
Yeah,
No.
he just like hits him with that look of like, do not fuck with me.
Exactly.
And just hits him with like the strongest stance you ever did see.
Mm-hmm.
That ref looked like a truck could have hit him and he would have stayed still. It was like a sumo wrestler getting ready to go.
Exactly.
Like, boom,
fucking try me.
Planted himself. And the friend, Cody Lane's tag team partner, absolutely does not try the ref and dips out of the ring. However, now this introduces a chair to the mix. Of course, Darby Allin tries to use the chair by hitting coffin drops with the chair. And then there's one point where Cody Lane catches him and hits him with a pile driver onto the chair and wins the match.
Yep.
This match was pretty short, but it was a lot happened.
Yeah, it did.
They really fit as much as they could into this 10 minutes. They were like, oh, we only have 10 minutes. Well, it's like they planned for like a 20-minute match, and then the promotion was like, you only got 10, and they were like, okay, let's try to do everything anyway.
Yep.
Which I think added to the match for me because I like that it was very fast paced and kind of nonstop.
Yeah.
However, this is another one that just missed that markout threshold for me. It was really good and I really liked it, but I think it's a high meh.
Yeah, I felt that. Oh man. Yeah, no, that was if I recall correctly, that was earlier Darby Allin. Like his hair wasn't all blonde at that point, right? Like it was like
yeah, his hair was like brown and had like a streak of blonde in it.
Yeah. A lot of prototype. I've realized now I've picked 2 weeks in a row now where I've had a ref just not take anyone's shit in a match. Twice now.
Listen, refs not taking anybody's shit is the best kind of ref.
I mean, you could tell I picked 2 matches for it. And I've liked each time. I love when a ref doesn't give a shit. Granted, I will always find it hilarious when a ref gets like poked and they just fly across the ring and are dead for the rest of the match.
Yeah, it's like sometimes refs are like, do not fuck with me. And other times refs are like, oh God, please don't hurt me.
Oh God, please. And then they get hit and it's just like a house of cards, just gone.
Yeah, like you said, some refs are just like fragile. Sometimes they just break like glass.
Mm-hmm. And other times they chokeslam the
poor referees.
They chokeslam the heels manager and throw him out of the ring afterwards.
Yeah. All right. Well, that brings us to the end of another episode of Independent Waters. We went through all of our matches, went through the double down. I think this was a good episode. We got some good matches. We got some fine wrestling in this one.
Yes, we did.
Not too many mark out matches, but we definitely got some fine wrestling.
Fine wrestling.
So if you like this show, go give us a 5-star rating on iTunes. Show us some love over there. 5-star ratings help a growing podcast like ourselves reach more ears, so you could have more people to talk about this show with, more people interact with on Twitter, stuff like that. So go give this show a 5-star review and leave us a review as well. Write like a little something. Tell us how we're doing. If you like the show, if you don't, and go follow us on Twitter over at CountOutPod, where you can interact with us and hear our thoughts on the wrestling world and the world in general. Also, go subscribe to our YouTube channel where we have video versions of all the podcasts, and we have some extra bonus video content that is only on our YouTube channel. So go check it out over there. And if you like my sultry voice here on this very bad microphone, you can go check out Hit the Books every Friday. Where me and Ryan Knightsey book Raw and SmackDown, our own versions, our own fantasy booked versions of Raw and SmackDown, where we build up the pay-per-views, we have our own rosters. Everything is our universe, but everything is our own WWE universe. So go check that out if you're into fantasy booking. And if you're into New Japan, go check out Ryan's show, G1 and Only, where he talks about superstars who've only been in the G1 and only, the G1 Supercard one time and one time only. So go check that out if you're into New Japan, if you're in G1 Supercard. If you want to hear some interesting tidbits about people who've only been in there once, go check out that show. And yeah, so and if you want everything to do with this podcast network, Count Out Network, go to countoutpod.com, where you can find everything you need to know about us, me, Zach, Ryan, and all the shows that we do here on the network. I think that about wraps up all the plugs. Zach, you got anything, bud?
Nope.
Didn't think so. I'm going to try every week until Zach brings me something.
One day I might.
But thank you all for listening. Thank you all for tuning in. We appreciate you very, very much. We love you. Thank you for downloading the show and tuning into our review podcast every week. And remember, there is a giant sea of independent wrestling out there.
So never stop exploring.